coming. I'm honestly honored to have you on because both me and my co-host, co-collaborator Saya are obsessed with your music now. So we're we're
Wow.
we're
Wow.
legitimate.
Thank you.
I'm a
Flattered.
legitimate fan. So if you could
Thank
introduce
you. Thank
yourself,
you.
where you're from, where you're based now, and anything you feel like is essential for people to understand you as an artist.
hmm Hi, my name is Dave. I am 24 years old. I'm based in Somerset, New Jersey. Uh, I guess one critical thing that you should know about me is that all of my music is truly an extension of me. And so I like to write from an honest place. And I feel that's what gives my music a unique flair. I don't really try to embellish too many things. Clearly, there are some songs that are embellished, and you could tell. But for the most part, like my most recent EP, Exit, I was dead serious and really talked about some of the things that I was going through. Really enter, unroot, exit.
Mhm.
That's just basically like my journey and a dive into my mind and into my growth too, because music got better,
Mhm.
um, topics got better, and the last project is lots of love songs and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
beautiful. Um, so I wanted to start with just your beginnings as an artist because I don't know
Mhm.
um your story. So I know for most people that are singers, um the interest in developing your singing voice usually starts from a young age. So was that the case for you? And was the root of your singing journey um
Not at
different? Because
all.
I know you play
I
some instruments as well.
Yeah, yeah. That was I played the trumpet. My beginning into this music stuff was watching my father. He's a
Mm-hmm.
rapper and a producer, and I have vivid memories of being in the studio with him. Um, at the time, it was in my grandmother's uh, garage, and so I'd be there hanging out with all the family. My cousins rapped. Um, my father would produce the beat, engineer the beat, of course,
Mm-hmm.
rap himself, and then the final product is there. I remember just being hungry and like asking my grandmother to make me some food. She would make me some food, and then I'd come back to the studio, and then they'd still be keep making music. A couple times I was on some tracks, so it started off there. I was exposed to the studio at a really young age.
Mm-hmm.
Then, as I got older, fourth grade came around, and band or strings, you know, whether you join the band or the orchestra. And I chose band, and I picked up the trumpet, kept playing that trumpet all the way throughout high school, all the way up to high school. Senior year rolls around, and I want to pick up another instrument. And so I pick up a guitar. I have both my guitars right next to me, but I picked that up. And that's when I then started deciding I wanted to sing. I didn't start singing at all as a kid, never joined no choir, wasn't in church. Um, I always knew I could sing, but being that people would try to tease you on anything and
Right.
make fun of you. I just wanted to kind of just, blend into the background. So when I'm grown, 18, 19, I was like, let me just make a song. Let me sing.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come out as good. Like, it was okay. But I knew that I had to start somewhere. And so doing that and putting out my music propelled me to continue working harder and harder. I self-taught myself how to engineer, self-taught myself how to produce.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my father did that back in the day. So that's where I saw it. But like as far as getting up and putting in the work, putting in the hours, um, nobody got me up except me. So I did that. And then of course, over time I got like a vocal coach, and then they taught me how to like properly use my diaphragm, how to hit notes properly. And then that's when the singing just got way better. And then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, just consistently singing, performing. consistently producing, and yeah, that's pretty much like my music journey.
That's really cool. That's a really dope journey.
Thank you.
Um, so with you being able to play instruments, play the guitar, and you spoke about how you do your own production as well. Do you feel you're most connected to your music when you are the one producing it, or is it just because you know how to do it? And have you ever given anyone else the chance to dabble in producing your sound?
I produced because of necessity. I
Mm,
didn't have other producers around me. So if you wanted to make music, either you go on YouTube, which I didn't even know at the time that like YouTube beats and stuff existed,
mm,
um, or you produce it yourself. So being that I saw my dad do it, I dabbled in it like very little as a child. Like I'm talking about like
mm.
8, 9 years old when Fruity Loops, when FL Studios was called Fruity Loops.
Yeah, I
I
know.
would fuck around and make beats. But it was like I didn't know what I was doing. It was just super, just small work. But I did that, and then I was just like, let me just do it, put in the work. And yes, when I produce my own music and then write to it, it's more cohesive. It's truly a piece of me at that point. And then on top of that, I'm engineering it, so it's like completely uh, like how do I put it? It's like I got the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm the one that's adding the ingredients, seasoning it up, adding it to the flavor, and then letting people try it.
Mm,
Um, and I have had a couple people produce for me. As I started getting deeper and deeper into music, I realized that collaboration is the best thing possible. And I didn't know how well I would do with collaborating with people, but I truly love it. And by collaborating with other people brings like it brings out the best in me because number one, they're hearing my voice and they're like, okay, let me add this. Let me create something that I think you would do well with. And then
mm.
it's just up to me to have an open mind and be willing to accept it. And luckily I love collaboration. Some people don't like collaboration and that's to their detriment.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of the production on your songs when listening to them actually like as a person, for me it's like a full body experience. I feel like I could feel every layer of what you're putting into your tracks.
Mm.
um and I was wondering, do you play all the instruments you use? Because when I was listening to Terrified, I hear like some clashing drums, I think, in addition to
Mm-hmm.
the guitar. And are those all sounds you produce yourself?
There's a demo version. So number one, I played the guitars, I played the keys on there. I sang the vocals, did the arrangement. I hired a drummer and I hired a bass player.
Mm,
But before I hired them, I already had pretty much everything laid out. Like I had a drum loop going, I had a bass line or whatever, and then I just hired them and told them, yo, like I don't like to micromanage, and
mm,
I also want people to bring their own sense of taste and character to the song. So I'm pretty like laid back. I'm like, all right, I want you to play something that's suiting to the song, but show me what you got. Like, add something that you think that would take this to the next level. Like, just because I have this old drum loop doesn't mean that that's all it should be. Like, if you can
right.
expound upon what I've already put down, please do. So, my friend Jonathan, he did the drums, and then my friend Mike, he did the bass, and I did the guitar, the string, the keys, and yeah, got mixed by an engineer, Aaron, and then mastered in New York by Mark Christensen. I should include everybody's like last name too, right? Aaron Vinnick mixed it, Mark Christensen mastered it, Jonathan Garcia is the drummer, and Mike Barrett's is the bass player.
So it's a really immersive track. I'll say that. I
Thank
really
you,
enjoyed
thank
it.
you. Yeah,
Um,
everybody played such a phenomenal part in the creation of
mhm,
it. So
I could tell.
I love that track too.
Um, and also with listening to your music, I feel like your voice is really hypnotizing. Do you have any
Mm.
specific feeling you like to regularly evoke from your songs, or is it just how you're feeling on a given day or season in your life?
Mm. It's really just spontaneous.
Mm,
Um, like I'll it always starts off for me producing the melody, getting the chord progression, then the drums, then the bass, and then the lyrics come. Sometimes the lyrics come with the melody. Sometimes it comes after the drums. And I also like to play around with how I go about creating a song. And um, I'll say for this project, majority of the lyrics came well, like once I did the melody and the drums, and then I'm like, oh, now I know where this is going. Um, the song "Low Expectations," though, before I had drums, it was just bass and melody. So I wrote the entire song to just that backbone. Um, I voice act as well.
that's
So when yeah, so the stuff that I kind of learned from voice acting helps with me kind of bringing out certain like tonal qualities of my voice. It's
mm,
nothing crazy. It's not like radical, but it's like you can choose to sing something like this, or you could choose to be more like external and like you're shouting the lyrics at people.
mm,
And so by kind of playing in between that and when we talk as humans, like we have a conversation. Sometimes we're external and then sometimes we bring it in. So just playing with that and then not overthinking it and just going with what I feel in the moment, like that really took it there. And a lot of times I'll just do a whole verse,
mm,
just sing it in one go. So, not really overcomplicating it, but preparing and practicing. Then when I
right.
go to the studio, it all comes together.
Are you someone that can like do melodies and things with words, or do you do it with, you know how some people it's just kind of like gibberish or just how you're feeling, not like the actual like sentence of what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's definitely how it starts. Yeah. I hear the melody before I hear the words all the
Mm,
time. And sometimes the melody will tell me what to say.
mm,
Like, yeah, I don't like to say, oh, this song's gonna be a sad song. Oh, this song's gonna be a happy song. Like Terrified came out of nowhere.
mm,
I don't know where the first line came from. Pray I never see the slow up.
mm,
I don't know. But it's like once I said the first line or wrote it,
mm,
then the next followed, and the next followed, and the next followed, and then
mm,
came the chorus. Oh no, didn't know that I was terrified. If I don't think that song would have came out to be that if I would have said, "Oh, this has to be a groovy
right.
'70s esque like funky type of song."
Mm,
I like to play. I like to draw outside the lines. I like to just see what happens if I take the pen and put it down. Just go.
beautiful. So I know, um, well, in all your years of creating music, now that I
Mm-hmm.
see, so you've had the experience of being pretty close to it, I guess, with through your father, um, and seeing that since childhood. So, what do you find most fulfilling as an artist, whether that be putting out projects or just having people able to listen to you, and what matters most to you in the scope of being Dave, the artist?
Mm-hmm. The most fulfilling thing is people reaching out to me and telling me like what my music has done for them, um, and performing live. So it's those two. I
Mm.
love to perform live. I love to see how my music moves people. And, that's kind of what I've always wanted to do, is just be in front of people and show them what I got.
Mm.
And then, a lot of this music I make for, to help me get through things and experiences in my life. And I feel it would be selfish to just make this music and then just keep it to myself, not even put it out or anything
Mm.
like that, let it rot on a hard drive. So I put it out. And I don't know if anybody's going to listen to it or connect with it. Um, but to hear it move people and, you know, help people get through a moment or inspire them to do something else with their own music, or
Mm.
that right there is like what I do it for. That is really what I do it for. It helps me, but if I could help other people, I'm happy. I don't even need to get a dime from this. Like, that just makes my heart feel good.
I feel like I could hear that a little bit. Like I could just tell you put your heart out on the line in your songs and music.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, I'm honest. I can't help but be honest,
yeah.
It just comes from me.
Um, so I did have a question, but now I kind of know. So in terms of being a creative, I know support from family sometimes can be hit or miss. So what
Mm.
has your life been like as on your music journey and in terms of
Mm.
support, and what does support mean to you?
Yeah, support, you it's support in the beginning used to be everything to me. But I realized some people aren't going to be able to see the picture. I can see vividly, like, it's just one image and I'm chasing after. I'm on stage, thousands of people.
Mm.
I can hear the screams, I can see the lights, I can feel the heat of the lights. I see it, and I see every detail of it. I see that. Now, whether my parents see it, that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
And in general, when you striving towards your dreams, not everybody's going to agree with you. A lot of people are going to try to say you're crazy or you're doing the wrong thing. Like, fuck that. Like, can I curse?
Go for it.
All right, curse it. But yeah, like, screw it. Like, screw that.
Yeah.
I love my parents dearly, and my father supports me. And of course, I get a lot of push sometimes on, like, yo, like, you need to do this instead of that. Same thing with my mom. They're just like, they're there's a difference between haters and naysayers. And I got this quote from a good friend, Cayman Kelly. But
Mm.
a hater is somebody who you do something and they're like, what are you doing? Like, I don't like it. That's a hater. But a person that loves you, such as your parents, they are naysayers. They want more for you. They want you to move in the direction that they see best fit for you.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's what they want. You have to do what you want to do.
Mm.
And so I took a chance on myself. I graduated college, and instead of getting like a regular 9 to 5, I said, nah, I'm gonna get the job that I want. Got an internship at a recording studio, learned how to record music properly, learned how to engineer music properly. And that took my levels up, my skill level up tremendously.
Mm.
And, it all kind of amounts to right now, um, knowing how to run my own home studio and how to capture myself at a high quality, or a shitty quality. It don't even matter, but just know how to get that like feeling across as effective as possible. you know and I wouldn't have gotten there if I would have listened to what the naysayers and the haters have said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So real. I know I'm surrounded by artists all the time, and it's kind of like the something I'm like really embracing and learning to just be like, this is my life. No one can really
Mm-hmm.
control your narrative
Yeah.
and what you see for yourself.
Hmm.
So
It's a lonely road.
for
It
sure.
really is, and it tests your faith in yourself and your patience too, because anything that comes quickly sure will fall quickly. But what we're trying to build is a legacy, a dynasty, an empire, etc., etc. So it's like you have to put in the groundwork. You have to put in those 10,000 hours. You have to be diligent. You have to be consistent. And, you know, this is what you're building for yourself. And, you know, I want to build something. I know what I want to build. And I ain't gonna get there listening to somebody else. I gotta take the actions on my own accord and follow my heart, follow my gut. I go by off my gut. Like that's it.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in planting seeds now. Like
Mm,
just plant
mm,
the idea, like legitimately put it out there and do it. Like make sure it's there so it can grow.
mm-hmm.
Because it can only grow once it's there.
Yeah,
But
that's
so as
awesome.
someone who appreciates a good visual, I've was always a painter my whole life.
Amazing painter, by the way. I
Thank
I
you.
saw your
Thank
last artwork
you.
from your grandmother. It's awesome. Like I'm impressed.
Thank you so much. Um, yeah, so I appreciate a good visual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I love your covers. So are the graphics and the colors you choose something that you consciously choose to complement your songs, or
Mm-hmm.
is it just something that comes about naturally?
Um, I'll say this for Enter and En route. I did the covers myself. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, critically, like the colors were everything.
Mm-hmm.
Exit actually hired a graphic designer. Her name is Yoon. I don't remember her last name, but Yoon. And she did a phenomenal job. And the colors in that one wasn't really the focus. The focus was like first I had a photo shoot and finding the photo, and then how could we take this photo and then like expound upon it and create something around it. So picture me standing in the shadow, like we took the shadow, made the shadow even bigger, and then the stuff around it just kind of came. And towards the last revision, I went into the city, met up with Yoon, and like hand wrote the numbers on the bottom. Um, what else did I do? Hand wrote the numbers on the bottom. Wrote my name. Like I do graffiti. Like when I was younger, I did a lot of graffiti. So
Me too.
I like to just, yeah, I like to keep that in my pieces because it just connects me more to my music and I hope it lets people know that like this is truly like a part of me. Like I don't have the papers, but I have like papers of me writing out exit 20 different times, my
Yeah.
name 20 different times. But that's the process.
Um, so we have 8 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have two last questions. So, are there any specific goals you have for yourself as of right now for your music? Anywhere that you'd like to perform specifically for your new EP?
Mm-hmm.
Any music videos you would want to accompany your work or anything else?
Mm-hmm. I would love to perform at Baby's All Right in Manhattan. I think it's Brooklyn. Might be Brooklyn. But Baby's All Right is a really, really dope venue. I've been there like twice and I love the stage and anytime I see the performers there, they sound excellent. So I've performed a couple times, not a couple, like I'll say like more than 5 times in New York, like Manhattan, maybe 2, 3 times, Brooklyn, maybe 2, 3 times. Can't really remember. But I love going to like the really good houses with great sound because then I can truly like get across what I'm trying to do. And then having a band back me up as well, even better. One thing that I really want to start doing now is visuals for my music, like getting music videos done. Um, I don't know. I'd be shying away from the camera, and I'm tired of doing that. So
Can't
these
do
interviews are like one part of me showing myself, but now I need to just like kind of take the idea and then match it with a visual and then put it out, and then now y'all get it, or like now you can kind of see where I'm coming from.
it.
And what was the other question you said? Like
Nothing.
performing.
That was it. Just if you had any specific goals. And
Yeah.
then this is the last question.
Mm-hmm.
So, last thing. What is the main thing you hope people take away from both your art, what you create, and the artist Dave as a person?
For the art that I create, it's okay to feel certain emotions. Um, I read a lot about love. I read a lot about like being, you know, alone on a journey, especially the series Enter and Root Exit. It's a journey,
Mm-hmm.
my own journey. And I talk a lot about like not having nobody there for me at times, or just expecting the most in people and them letting me down. Uh, it's okay to feel these emotions, but don't let them halt you. Continue to progress, you know? I mean, if I were to let En route stop me, because the time that I produced En route, that was like, woo, one of the worst times I kind of went through. But if I'd have let that stop me, Exit would have never came to be, and I would probably just be sulking somewhere, like sad. But being that I just pushed through it, it got better, and it always will get better, no matter what you're going through, no matter where you're trying to be, and you're trying to meet up to the future you. Like you just got to keep trucking, you got to keep chugging, you know, and you'll get there. I still have a lot to go. Like I feel like, yeah, I dropped Exit. It's the conclusion of the series, but it's like I just thought I was going up a mountain. Really, I'm up on a hill, and now I'm looking and I'm like, damn, that's the mountain.
Back
You
of
know
the
what I mean? It's like,
mountain.
ooh, can I do it? Imposter syndrome. I don't know, but forget that. Like, you could do anything you put your mind to, and
Absolutely.
say that to myself. Like anything I see it. If I see it, I could do it. Like so, do that, and then that's my music. And then Dave, you said the person,
Yeah, the artist, the
the
person.
the artist. Hmm. Uh, in what regard? Like, what was the question again? Okay.
What you hope people take away from you.
Oh, for me, the person. Oh, always be yourself.
Mm.
I When I was in high school, I just didn't want to stand out as much. I kind of wanted to fit in, go with the trends that everybody's doing. And long story short, it led to a point where like I had like a breakdown. Like I was just upset at who I was, and I needed to escape that. And I did, college, separating myself from all everybody that I kind of grew up with, and then going to a place where nobody knows me really helped me put in the groundwork to being myself and truly doing the things that I enjoy. I started growing out my hair. I've always wanted to grow out my hair, but I knew if I would have did it in high school, people would have looked at me strange. So I had waves, but like I don't embellish anything about myself. I just be who I am, and you know, that always takes me way further than trying to put on this mask, put on this suit, or just act outside of yourself. Um, you are good enough. You are enough. And don't ever think that you have to take a piece of you and change that. This is who I am.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. No problem.
Um, Stream everything everywhere.
Yes, I saw on all platforms. Yesterday, I just uploaded it to SoundCloud and Bandcamp, so it's out everywhere. My EP Exit out everywhere, all platforms.
Yep,
Stream it, share it, play it with somebody
you
that
love.
you
No, I'm just
appreciate. Or play it with somebody that's your boo bear. You know what I'm saying? We got some love songs in
full
there.
stink, all of
Your
them.
boo, yeah, yeah, your boo stink. Yeah, yeah. Where it's out. Get it now.